Hi everyone, welcome to After Class with Ballet for All,
a podcast by two passionate adult ballerinas about all things adult ballet related.
and some random thoughts in between.
We're so glad you're here.
So grab your water bottle
Or a cup of coffee.
and join us for a quick chat after class. Hi Hannah.
Hi, Elena. How are you?
Good, thank you. Very excited. Finally teaching in-person classes again.
I'm excited for the episode today. So this episode, we're going to be talking about how to get the most out of YouTube classes. Obviously, especially during COVID, there was kind of a boom, I feel like, of new ballet content online. And there's so many YouTube classes, and so many resources that are available. And I think there's some really good tips for being able to maximize what you're getting out of YouTube classes. So I'm excited to jump into this one.
Yeah, definitely. YouTube, nothing better than that at the moment. You got great quality videos. We are all working harder and harder to get the best quality videos with lights, with audio, with editing, catchy, and at the same time, good quality teaching. Like I can say there's so many good YouTube channels for ballet, and you can just look at different techniques, you can look at different style of dancing, different exercises, different skill, and all that for free, which is even better than nothing.
Yeah, it's so amazing, honestly, because I know that, finances can be a very real barrier to entry
Yes.
for people wanting to take ballet, because it's an expensive hobby, even if you're not paying for classes, just with the shoes and leotards and all that, and then you throw in classes on top of it, and it can really add up. And so the fact that there is so much that's available for free on YouTube is so awesome, so great.
So much true. So I would say, why YouTube lessons? Well, first online lessons, live lessons, like my type of online lessons where it's all the time live, it's not pre-recorded or anything like that. They're great. But YouTube lessons, if you cannot afford it for what we said, like economically we can't do it, YouTube is great. You can do the class at the time that you need to, so you can schedule yourself. The YouTube lessons are pretty well organized. They are most of the time like the teacher explains the class, they play the music, and then you reproduce the entire exercise. That's pretty awesome. And you have what we said, access to so many different channels, so many different styles. So you have plenty of options in the internet for doing some ballet. So take that a step forward. Start today with YouTube. Why not?
Yeah, and I think it's also, YouTube is a great place to start if you're a beginner and you're feeling nervous about the class experience and you're feeling a little intimidated about walking into a studio or even joining a live Zoom class. YouTube classes are a great way to start familiarizing yourself with just the general flow of ballet classes, because there is, structure to ballet, like starting with pliés and then tendus and dégagés. There's a flow of classes, and you can really get familiar with how classes build and with kind of the foundational steps of ballet classes through YouTube. So if you're feeling a little bit nervous about jumping in to in-person classes, I would say start with taking some YouTube classes just to get familiar.
Exactly. Now, if you already started classes and you are already a little bit more advanced, like let's say Hannah already been doing lessons for close to 2 years, at least with me, close to 2 years. Why do you keep going back to YouTube? If you have in-person classes, you have my live classes, why do you keep going back to YouTube? Maybe to focusing on a specific skill that you would like to learn. Isn't that right, Hannah?
Yeah, I love using YouTube classes for that reason. I take class Monday through Thursday most weeks, and my goal is usually to do one other day of the week where I just do a YouTube class where I focus on working on the one thing that I felt like I was struggling with during the week. Obviously, when you're in a live class or you're in an in-person class, your focus really needs to be on what's being taught in the moment, memorizing the choreography, doing that. But the great thing with YouTube classes is, I think at least for me, it gives me the ability to pick that one thing that I really want to be working on without as much pressure of, messing up the choreography or having to think about everything else going on in the room. And so I think no matter how long you've been dancing, YouTube classes are a great way to implement the things that you're learning in your live or in-person classes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, for instance, let's say that you want to learn to do pirouettes. You've been in class, your teacher's already correcting you enough. You come back to my online lessons, I keep correcting you. But you are still on group classes, or you are still like, yes, it's personalized, but you haven't had the time to stop, breathe, go step by step of what is in a pirouette. Well, then you go to my YouTube lessons where I have one specific video for doing pirouettes from 5th position. I have another video from 4th position. I have another video, just the basic of YouTube. And you actually can go to YouTube and focus just on that.
Yeah, the ability to pause the video and rewind the video is such a great part of YouTube. I think it's a great way. I know one of the things I've heard people say, and I remember this, and it's still something I work on, that's really challenging when you're starting off with ballet is learning how to memorize choreography, because a lot of times it is a part of our brain that we might not really be using in daily life, is that memorization part. And it is a skill. It's like I heard someone explain it one time as a muscle, that it's the ability to memorize is a muscle that you have to work and strengthen to be able to, you know, hear something and retain it. And I also find that YouTube classes are great for challenging yourself to be better at memorizing choreography, because again, you're taking out some of the other stressors that come along with a live class or an in-person class, and you're able to pause and rewind the video to, if you need to hear it again, you can do that. You know, you can pause the video, rewind, hear the combination repeated, and really focus on taking it in and challenging your memory. And then also, you know, when you're actually doing it, when you're following along with the music, kind of challenging yourself to not look at the screen the whole time while you're doing the combinations, that you're starting to train your brain to be able to memorize choreography without having to watch someone. That was something I really focused on during COVID when I was trying to really get more serious about ballet, was using YouTube videos as a way to get better about picking up choreography and memorizing it. And so I think it's a great tool because, like you said, you have that ability to pause, rewind, and kind of go at your own pace.
Yeah, and I think another way to use YouTube as well would be, okay, you go back, you focus on a specific skill. Another way would be challenging yourself. Your teacher did today, I don't know, tombe piqué pirouette, which is called the lame duck. You're like, oh my God, I never done that. You go to Google, you find the lame duck, you go on the internet and you go and Google. The step is called this, is done like that, other school call it another way. Let's see if I can learn by myself first how to do it. And then you go back to classes like, I forgot teacher to mention, I never done that step, but I went into YouTube, I kind of did it a little bit. Is this correct? And then you get feedback. Your teacher's like, oh, wow, you're actually paying attention. You never done it. You asked me how to do it. You Google by yourself. You challenge yourself to improve or get it better, like learn a new skills. Sometimes I do the same ballet class and I look at it from a different perspective. Like, it's all about today I just want to focus on my port de bras because I already memorized the entire exercises.
Yeah.
But maybe I know the port de bras and I know the combinations. Now I'm just going to focus on feeling the foot through the floor, feeling the accent of the good pied, those toes peeling off with accent, the dynamic of passing one, up. Yeah, so much that you can do with the same class over and over again, depending how you focus on it.
Yeah, I love taking the same class on YouTube multiple times because, like you said, once the choreography is more in your body and you're not worried as much about memorization, you can really focus on all those little things that a lot of times I know in my in-person classes, my mind has to be juggling the choreography in addition to trying to implement things. So it's kind of only partially successful sometimes. But when you know the combination, you can really focus on implementing those things. And so I think it's great to do the same class multiple times. And like you said, it's a great time to push yourself. It's a great time to experiment, I think, with different ways of doing things. Like, YouTube classes are so kind of low stakes, I guess, compared to doing a live class or an in-person class where you feel that risk of embarrassment or not doing something correctly. When you're alone doing a YouTube class, it's such a great time to just try different things and not have to worry about how things look. I mean, I've experimented so many different ways of working through a pirouette on my own just because I'm not worried about, what's happening around me. And so it's so great for that. I think YouTube classes can really be a great resource for improving.
Yeah, I think we can have even a whole list of really good stuff how you can use your YouTube, like just to like go over everything we talked in this episode. First is you can schedule any class at any time. They are good quality videos, good quality teaching. Like there's so many great YouTube channels. You can learn specific skills. You can learn like to go over exercises over and over again just to learn to memorize technique. You can go on YouTube and focus on learning to work without focusing on the screen, without following your teacher, just by listening the chord combination. You can use the mirror to focus a little bit more on like, okay, that's what my teacher meant by elbows up. Okay. You can focus on really articulating through the floor. You can focus in the same class with so many different angles. Like, I think it's just go for it. Go for YouTube lessons. Give it a try. Write down what are you going to focus in this class today. Like, go for it. Try. Give it a chance.
Yeah, and you honestly, I mean, there's times where I don't even finish the whole YouTube class. And I think that's another great thing, and another way you can kind of maximize doing YouTube classes is that you don't even have to put the pressure on yourself to do an entire class. Like if you don't have time to do a full 1 hour, do 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes is better than nothing. And so that's another great way to utilize YouTube classes as a way to get in whatever you can, and a way to focus on, just doing the things that you want to work on. Like if, like I said, you have 20 minutes and you're like, I really just want to work on articulating my feet through tendus, like just do tendu exercises. Yeah. And it's a great way to have that flexibility within your schedule, that you don't have to commit to a 1 hour or an hour and a half class to be doing something.
Exactly. It's true. Well, thank you so much for joining today. It was really lovely to have this podcast with you, Hannah. Always love it.
Love it. So fun. We hope this was helpful for everyone, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah, bye. Thank you for listening to After Class with Ballet for All.
Join the community on YouTube and Instagram, or come dance with us, our weekly Zoom classes for adult ballerinas like you.
Links included in the episode description. Special thank you to our sponsors.
See you next time after class. Podcast produced by Mission Bridge Media.